Hello everybody. We are gonna have a little chat. I didn't want to really have this chat while I was like driving, but I just don't know how else to have it. So basically, she bumpy. So I just kind of feel like I have to explain my absence on social media right now. I've been getting a lot of messages from people that it's like, where have you been? You haven't posted. You're like reposting old content, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I am reposting old content. The reason for my absence is because I have had a lot of personal stuff going on. I feel like as much as I don't want to really talk about it because it is personal, I feel like I'm one of those people that is so lucky to have a job in social media. Like, I'm so lucky that I get to work and that you guys follow and that you're interested and that you actually give a shit. And that's my career. But also, like, when I just like decide not to work for 2 weeks, I decide like not to put out new stuff, everyone's like, God, she's getting boring. And I just kind of wanted to explain the reason for it. So this isn't a sympathy story, this isn't a sob story, this is literally just so you guys know that I'm still here and I'm still 110% creating content. I just have had a rough couple weeks. That is a very roundabout way to get to what I finally want to say. I think I just decided I wanted to do this driving because I really don't know how to say it. You really couldn't write this either. Well, I posted online, I'm sure you guys have seen it. For the past 4 years, I've been working for Pink Ribbon Foundation. I've always gone to every event. I've connected Lisa with as many people as I can. I don't always talk about this, but I'm quite open about it, that my Auntie Kit died of breast cancer when she was 36. I think those are the dates, right? I mean, that's what my mom always says to me. She always tells me she was 34, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I had my 34th birthday. My mom came over here. It was awesome. I had a great time with her. And she was like, you need to get a mammogram. You need to get a mammogram. I know you don't want to, but you need to get a mammogram. They're horrible, but you need to get a mammogram. And I was like, yeah. And during all this, I've been waiting for my ambassadorship for Pink Ribbon for like years. I've wanted to be an ambassador of theirs. I've expressed interest in it. I've always been like, I do as much as I can for the Stroke Association, but I had a stroke. So instantly when you've had a stroke, they like make you an ambassador. When you've not had this happen to you, like, there has to be a good reason as to why you'd become an ambassador, why you actually care. It's all volunteer. And I've always said if I wasn't in TV, if I wasn't in skating, I would be a philanthropist. I really love charities. It's just something that makes me feel good, and selfishly I get my own therapy from it. So the long and short of this is I finally got my ambassadorship with Pink Ribbon, and I was so excited about it, and I'm still so happy about it. Like, I cannot believe I got it. But you couldn't write this. So I'm like, yep, I'll make a mammogram appointment, Mom, yeah. And then I like wake up in the morning and, you know, I get my ambassadorship like a couple days before, and I'm doing a self breast check like you do. Oh, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. So I'm doing a self breast check, which everyone needs to do, and I don't do enough of, obviously. I felt a lump, and I was like, that's weird. Is that just like a lump because I'm getting my period? Is that always there? Like, I don't know. Like, this is really freaking weird. I've always had this. I'm sure I've always had this. Like, one of those things where you go into this denial of, I'm sure I always had this. Oh my God, I've just been donating my time to the Pink Ribbon Foundation. It's in my head. I'm losing my freaking mind. So don't say anything. And then I tell Paul, and I'm like, this is so weird. Like, can you just check this out? Do you think I'll have a lump? And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, it feels like there's something there. And then we kind of both just kind of like, you've been spending so much time talking about breast cancer and Pink Ribbon Foundation, you're just nervous. At the end of the day, I couldn't stop touching it and it hurt. And I was like, this is painful. Like, I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I feel like there's this lump, blah, blah, blah. But I basically finally went to a clinic. And yesterday I went in and I had a breast screening, and they did find a lump. So it wasn't in my head, which makes me feel a lot better because at least it wasn't in my head. First they did a mammogram, then they did an ultrasound, then they did another mammogram, and then they did a biopsy. So I'm waiting for the results of the biopsy, and I'll find out at the end of this week. The reason for my absence and the reason why I've not been on anything is, like, not been here, is because mentally, this is like one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. I absolutely hate this. Like, I hate every second of this. It's been more mentally stressful than it has been physically stressful. So, mentally, like just thinking about like my auntie Kit and thinking about my cousins and thinking about, you know, my cousin Kara, she had a double mastectomy, and thinking about just like everything that's gone on in my family. And that's why they did all these tests. Like these doctors, they know what they're talking about. Like I went in and, you know, within a few hours I had 2 mammograms essentially, an ultrasound, a screening from a doctor, and a biopsy from a radiologist. So like they did everything as fast as they could. And I'm going to find out on Friday. And I know on Friday they're going to come back and they're going to say, you're totally fine. It was just dense breast tissue. That's why we don't do mammograms on 34-year-olds, because 34-year-olds, that's all you can see because of your age and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, like this has been mentally worse than physically. And I feel like, you know, I have to come on here now that I'm an ambassador. Like this is the whole point of being an ambassador. You're supposed to share. So you couldn't write this though. You couldn't like write the fact that I'd find a lump and it would be within the timing of getting an ambassadorship, like my age changing, everything. Like you couldn't have written the horrible timing of it, or like amazing timing of it. Maybe that's what made me like clued up to it. It's fine. And I think that part of the reason why I like feel like I have to share this is obviously because everyone's like, oh God, she's getting boring. She's not putting any content out. She's just like, you know, she's just stopped sharing anything. It's not that. I'm just mentally drained. And I feel like I can't say much of anything. I don't have much to say. I'm tired. I don't want to get on a live and say, hi guys. Like I'm just not, like I'm just really drained. I feel so much better today after waking up, after all the tests are done. And something that I think people need to know is like, these tests aren't bad. Like my mom scared me about these mammograms. She's like, oh, they're awful. They're terrible. Honestly, the mammogram was fine. The mammogram itself was fine. It was so fine I had to go in twice and do it twice. Like it was totally fine. The biopsy, yeah, that kind of sucked a bit. And like right now today, I'm quite sore because they do like a little incision and then they pull out a piece of it, and they did 3 pieces for me just to double check. And she's like, we're just ticking boxes. We just want to tick boxes because of your family history. Kind of just wanted to, first of all, explain my absence, and second of all, explain that like if now being an ambassador, if you're going to go get a check, it's not the check itself that is the stressful part. The check is great. Like you'll get over it. People touch your boobs, it's fine. You become really like desensitized to whoever's touching you. You just don't care. The hardest part about all this is the mental, and like getting in your own head and being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you say the C word and you panic. And you know, I've already told the people that I need to tell. So like my mom, I'm gonna call my cousin today, but I didn't want to scare anyone. I haven't even told my dad yet. I'm gonna tell my dad. And I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to pile this together on Friday when my biopsy comes through clean. Mentally, the strain on me for the week that I've had before this has been worse than the test itself. So I know a lot of people are like really scared to get mammograms, and they're really scared to get other tests, and they're scared for biopsies. Honestly, the pain is so withstandable. Like it is beyond withstandable. I don't even know if that's a word. But what is the hardest part is mentally being drained. And so the reason why I've not been on here for a few days, the reason why I haven't done any lives, the reason why I've just like been resharing crappy content is because I physically can't get out of my own head to mentally just like be happy and smile. And I'm so grateful that I have this platform, and I feel so grateful that you guys even give a I felt like I had to explain my absence, and I had to explain the reason why these past few weeks have been a bit, I just have to say, like, you know, please check your boobs. Just check your boobs. Do what you have to do. Go in there with a healthy mindset. I'm glad I got it checked. I did it as fast as I could. Why aren't you doing any lives this week? Where's your new content? What happened, kind of thing. And I don't want people to think it's because I took my foot off the gas, and I don't want people to think that it's because I don't appreciate my job. And like, that is my job now. It's full time. But I just physically can't. And everybody just needs to know, check your boobs. We don't normally give mammograms to 34-year-olds, but I'm here to tell you guys that mammograms don't hurt. They're fine. Like, honestly, I could kill my mother for being like, oh, they're awful. They're fine. They're genuinely fine. Like, they're not that bad at all. Please don't ever let the thought of pain or discomfort stop you from going and getting checked. That's all I can say. My peace of mind now is already so much better. By Friday, I'm going to feel like a new person. This is a very effing long video. sorry not been on here, but this is why. And thank you for everything. Thank you for still staying with me and supporting me, and for letting me continue to do this as a job. And anyways, guys, yeah, thank you for everything. And please check your boobs. Just like my job now as an ambassador is to make sure people check their boobs. So check your boobs. Guys, it is Friday. I am a new person, like I said I would be. My biopsy results came back and they were benign, and I am fine. I just want to say thank you. Honestly, the only real reason why I feel like I had to address this on here is because everybody was asking if Paul and I were splitting up. Everyone's asking, you know, where I've been, complaining about me not putting any content, etc., etc. And I just wanted you guys to know that, like, I haven't abandoned this, and I just needed a little break. But everything's good. I am benign. I am happy and healthy. I've been given this little lovely pamphlet to go check out some genetic counseling for my family. And yeah, everything's gonna be good. So thanks so much for sticking with me. And honestly, if I can say anything, please, please get your boobs checked, everyone. It is so important. And I just feel really, really grateful that it's all over now and I don't have to worry about anything for another year. Till my next mammogram. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for everything, and speak to you soon.